Hello sewing friends, Deb here, Slap Happy Sewing. First thing I want to say, thank you so much for all your wonderful, kind, uplifting comments about my video last week, which, you know, when I went back and viewed it myself, I thought, I just look so, for a start, I look so messy. I'm clearly quite upset. Yeah, and I did wonder whether I should try and edit that out. But I thought, no, I think we're all feeling the same and I should have the courage to speak what I'm sure everybody else is feeling. When I talked to you about the Cold War, you know, growing up in the Cold War, I think one of the things that I felt was most isolating and frightening about it was the way that nobody seemed to talk about it. That my parents would have it on the news, you know, things would be happening, and Northern Ireland, because obviously I grew up in Britain, that would be on the news, and it was like nobody mentioned it. It was like nobody seemed to care, and I found that extremely isolating. I thought almost like I must be oversensitive or something because nobody seems to care about this or get upset by it the way that I am. Anyway, today's video, I am on, you know, and it's hard to know how to go on and live normal life in the face of such terrible circumstances in the world. But I think for most of us, sewing is one of the ways in which we do keep going. And I'm reminded of all those lovely stories in the war, you know, about people making and remaking their own clothes. There was a huge amount of sewing in the war, and it was very creative and joyful. It was a way of overcoming the circumstances. It was the wedding dresses made out of parachutes, that sort of thing. So in that spirit, I will continue with this video. But, you know, I think about it a lot, and I am all I can think of to do, as so far away, is to donate money. Hale's More Sewing, she did mention that you could buy patterns from Ukrainian pattern sellers. That's a good way. So if you've got any other ideas, put them down in the comments for me, will you please? Because I'm just scanning my brain for ideas of how to help the situation. And while money does seem like, it feels a bit like sort of giving someone money instead of buying them a proper present, but actually the aid agencies, I used to work for a charity and I know this is true, that actually money is much better than stuff, and stuff is too much to handle. Money they can use goes directly where it needs to be. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So in today's video, I'm going to show you my Cashmerette AMES jeans. These I have just finished. Now, you remember that I made a pink pair a few weeks ago, and they were really 7/8 lengths with a little slit. And the reason they were 7/8 lengths is not so much that I wanted 7/8 pants, though I like 7/8. It was more to do with the fact that I only had that much, just about enough fabric to do them that long. But this pair, I had more fabric. I think I had about 2.6 meters of this. Although this fabric, it had quite a big white stripe across a bit at the end, which had obviously been out to the light. A good reason why you shouldn't be storing your fabric on open shelves in, you know, if there's a sunny window or a lot of light coming in. But I did manage to cut round that, and yeah, made the jeans. I'm very happy with them, except for one thing. When I put them on, you see the fly here. Well, for a start, the pink ones were non-stretch. I thought they were stretch, but they didn't have stretch. And these ones have some stretch. In fact, they have a fair bit of stretch. But what I found was, when I put them on, that the teeth of the zip show. I thought that was a bit of a funny thing, really, because it's the way the pattern is designed, is that the zip sort of zips up there, and it's obviously getting hidden by the, but I would have thought it would be better to have the zip go up inside so that the flap fully covers the zip. I must look at my trousers and see if that's the way that they often are. Because anyway, after making these, I found that when I put them on, I'll show you it in a picture here. When I put them on, that zip, the teeth of that zip was showing. What I've done here, because of that problem with the zip, is I've made it so you can only unzip them that far down, and that's all I need actually, because they've got a bit of stretch, and you know, my fattest part is across here, so if, as long as I can get them up over my fattest part, they're fine. But I think I have discerned after this that I will, if I'm making stretch pants, I think I'm going to leave the zip out in future and put a yoga waistband on that. And I know that Jen from Jen's Sewing Room, I think she's got a tutorial on how to do that, and it's such a good idea, and really that suits my shape better than zip front things. I mean, you'll notice I've left the pockets out of the front too, because you know, when you've got a round tummy like me, you don't need pockets or zips or anything on there. So next time I will do that. But I've made these work by literally sewing up the zip as much as I can, so that and I might even, you know, hand stitch so they, if it bothers me. I just wanted to also, my tops nearly always go to there, and you know, this bit of the zip doesn't seem to be too bad, as long, now that I've sewn it up. So yes, I lengthened the rise 2 inches. Don't remember if I lengthened the leg or not. So yeah, they're nice and long. So I'm not going to waffle on much more about them. I've got used to them. I love the shape of them. I'm using the apple shaped pelvis, I think making a size 20, 18, 20, and yeah, love them. They're really good. They're a really good shape for me. They're the same shape as me. Oh, by the way, I am wearing my Love Notions Cadence dress that I cut off into a top. And I cut it off into a top because I just wasn't wearing it as a dress, and I thought it would be more useful as a top, and it is. Yeah, now, before I show you some footage of myself wearing these trousers, I want to just tell you something funny. So, you know, I often have a little browse around on YouTube myself and watch various channels. And I came upon this one. I think her name is Kay Harms, and her channel is Dressed for My Day with Kay Harms. And I think she's a pastor's wife or something. She's very sweet, and I think her channel is very helpful. It's aimed at older women. I like her look, but I mean, she's very slender, so obviously she looks great in everything. Like all of these channels, I think they make money out of selling clothes, but I must admit, I have actually found her channel quite uplifting and quite useful, even though she's way more conventional. She's very conventional to me. I enjoyed her channel, and I do like her tips. So she put this video on, and it's all about tips for taking photographs, having your photograph taken. Now, obviously, if you're a YouTuber like me, you get used to, over time, being on camera, and you get used to having to take pictures of yourself in clothes. And I'll tell you, it's a bit of a journey, especially if you're like me. You know, I have been a lifelong fat person. I was a fat kid, fat teenager. I've always had a weight problem all of my life. And so it's taken quite a while to get over that. But I recommend that if you also have those problems, get yourself, you can see it there, I've got a full length mirror. Get a full length mirror into your room, and you don't, not necessarily naked or whatever, but just get used to yourself. Get used to looking at yourself the way that you are, and when you do your makes, take some pictures of yourself in your makes. And you know, I have to say, there's many pictures I take that I cringe over, but I'm getting more and more used to seeing myself, and now I'm feeling happier about what I see. Anyway, to cut a long story short, this dress for this day, she gave these tips about taking photographs, and I'll put the link up there, but I can't remember all of them. But I did remember when I was taking these photographs, and I'll play them now. I just want you to see that when I was taking these photographs, I put some of these tips. Now, one of these tips was to turn your body slightly to the side. Another one was, you know, some photographs it's quite nice to just look away from the camera. She also talked about making angles, so make an angle with something, with your arm, or, you know, and just to interrupt myself, I took all these pictures for my Stylebook app, because I thought, well, now that I've put these trousers on and set up my camera to take a picture for you guys, I should take a few pictures for my style book app. And I tried on some of the other blouses, many of which are me-made blouses. So if you're interested in wanting to know what any of those patterns are, let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can dig them out for you. And another tip was finding something to do with your hands, and she said have something you can hold. So, you know, I tried one with a cup, and I must admit it did really relax me. So have a look at that channel and those tips, and I think you will find they might help you too if you're a bit person like me who struggles a little bit with having photographs of yourself taken. But I must admit, practice makes perfect, and I have got a whole lot better at looking at myself. And of course, the thing is, if it's your camera, delete button, delete, 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 delete. Just pick out the ones that you like. What I wanted to ask you is, do you remember I made these? These are the pants that I made from the Cashmerette Ahead of the Curve book. And to be honest, you know, they were a muslin, but they do fit okay. A little on the loose side. But I saw that the new fashion is to have your trousers kind of either rolled up or gathered in at the bottom with like cargo pants at the side. And I thought, well, I'm not wearing these. I wonder if I could do that, is roll them up and put some pockets on the sides and turn them into kind of cargo pants. Except, what kind of pockets are cargo pants? So if you know of a free pattern that maybe has pockets in it, or a place where I can look at what pockets of cargo pants look like, then please let me know in the comments. So yeah, I just think that might be a way of making these work better. Right, that's all for me today. As always, sending lots of love and warm wishes to you all. What a beautiful bunch of people you all are. Lovely sewing community. I'll tell you what, if us women ruled the world, I think all of my commenters and subscribers are women, though it might not be. But I think if us people ruled the world would be a much more gentle and loving place. So on that note, I wish you a wonderful sewing week. Goodbye.